Okay. So I wanted to come to you guys while this shit was still fresh in my head, but you look blurry because I don't have my glasses on. So I'm not squinting my eyes because I'm high or still going through this trip. I just can't see because I don't have my glasses on. So I know that was the second time I said that. So yeah, first of all, I'm scratching because I had to go outside on my terrace. I needed air. I didn't feel like I felt like I was suffocating in my house. So I needed to go outside, and then I went outside, and I think I must have got bit up or some shit like that. So I'm itching because of that. I'm not like a drug addict or anything. I'm itching from that. So just FYI, that's the disclosure with that. So 7:50 is when I started to feel something. I didn't even realize it because I had a smoothie and the shrooms was in the smoothie. So I was enjoying the smoothie. I actually lightweight forgot that shrooms was put in the smoothie. So I was supposed to just like gradually, drink it. But I drank it like a smoothie. I gulped that shit down. Totally, like I said, not thinking about the effects or that even mushrooms was in it, because I was thinking about all the fruit and other shit that you put in a fucking smoothie. So anyway, so I drank my smoothie like that shit was water. 7:50, I started noticing like my head started feeling a little like a little dizzy, a little nausea started coming on. So I called the person, and said, I text the person and was like, all right, I'm starting to feel something. I'm going to lay down because I didn't like what I was feeling. So I felt like the best thing to do was let me just go lay down. Let me maybe sleep it off. You know what I'm saying? Because it was almost like a high, but then like a drunk high. So I lay down for a few minutes, or what I thought was a few minutes. I don't even know if it was a few minutes. But something got me up where now I couldn't go to sleep. So now I'm up. But I think another thing I wanted to say was I really think that organized religion played a part in me not enjoying this high. And I say that to say that for so long, because I didn't know about masturbation or wasn't taught how to please myself or wasn't even taught that women had full orgasms sexually, even though I enjoyed myself with my husband and my partners in between, but I wasn't having orgasms, and I didn't know that I wasn't having complete orgasms up until, I was 32 years old and actually was forced. Like someone sat me down on his dick and was like, fucking just relax and be still and receive this. Like, don't run and don't fight. And I had to like literally get put on the person's lap dick to sit and literally embrace this orgasm. And then once I found out what that was, then I was able to have orgasms. But I have clear memories of fighting it all the way up until that point. So now I come full circle to the shrooms. I think that once I started to get high, that because I've been taught that it's something wrong, or wasn't taught anything about even, I don't even know if I was taught that it was something wrong. I think that anything that allows you to tap into your inner self, which is what I was told shrooms does, like any hallucinative type of drug, it allows you to sit and reflect and get in tune with yourself. On a creative level, on a sexual level, on a fun level. So as this high was coming, I had all these other thoughts in my head. So I wasn't allowing myself to enjoy the high. All I kept telling myself was like, I don't like this. I gotta fucking work through this shit. This is not fun. So I fought it for fucking 2 hours. And then I was so dirty, or I felt so dirty, and the pressure in my shower is really low. So, but then I got nervous. Like I said, I don't want to take a shower because I don't want to fall in the shower. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know if I had balance, because I felt off. Like I was starting to spin. You know what I'm saying? I was starting to spin because I had to go to the bathroom. And when I went to the bathroom, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my hands, and I'm like, my hands, everything felt like bigger. Like I when I went to wipe, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at my hand felt, so I was like, okay, this is, so I had to physically, I felt like I had to constantly get control of my brain, of my mind. And that's not cool, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to let go. And that's what I wasn't able to do. I wasn't able to let go. Reggie, my son, texted me to just, all right, since you in this space, you know, try to just, you know, reflect and to be still. I could not be still. So I'm on the phone with Bay, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm calling him to, like, am I supposed, you know, I just don't know how I'm supposed to feel. You know, at one point I did kind of feel itchy, but I think I felt itchy because I felt dirty. You know what I'm saying? So I go in the bathroom and I said, instead of taking a shower, I'll take a bath. Let me just wait. But then the idea of sitting in my dirt, just that was creeping me out. Like, while I'm in the tub, I'm like, I can't. So while I'm in the tub, right, I put the Epsom salt, but I put some of my soap from the Pink Lake, my salt from the Pink Lakes, from my Africa trip. That shit felt like glass. You know what I'm saying? It looked like glass. It felt like glass. I felt like I was cutting myself. And I'm looking at the glass, or oh boy. I'm looking at the salt melt underneath the water, right? I'm feeling the edges soften underneath the water. So now, you know, metaphorically, I'm trying to, like, understand, like, the power of why my ancestors would give us fucking healing salt water, you know, salt, to put in our bath to hurt us. And I'm like, is that like a metaphor to, we gotta go through the glass? Like, I'm trying to figure that shit out. So once again, you know, not really allowing myself to just to be. Now I'm trying to analyze, like, well, why does this feel like glass? And why would my ancestors give me shit to sit in, to enjoy, that feels like it's cutting me? You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting in the tub feeling like the shit is cutting me. Now I felt the stuff is not, it does not feel like glass now, 2 hours later. But anyway, so I'm in the tub. I don't like the idea of sitting in the dirt. So I get up, I pray while I get up to keep some type of levelness. You know what I'm saying? So I can take a shower, just so I can feel at least clean. Take a shower and dip myself in powder because I'm itchy. So I get out the tub. What do I remember? I think I go to the living room. So I put the camera on me because I'm trying to document this, right? And I'm talking to myself. And then I think I had like a crying session about feeling, you know, grateful about the apartment and the kids growing up, and I was ready to move on, yada, yada. I was trying to really push myself to get to my terrace because I knew that I needed air. But when I was on my terrace early, it felt damp, and I didn't know why. I didn't remember that it rains. So I'm like, why does the futon feel damp? But then I'm connecting the dots because silly, it rained out here. So I want to put a comforter on the futon so that I can still lay out there. Bay does not want me to be on the terrace. He's nervous. He's calling me back. Don't be on the terrace. Get off the terrace. But I'm trying to tell him, like, I need air. You know, like I said, I just felt like so stuffy. I didn't want to turn on my AC for whatever reason. Now I'm under my AC in my bedroom. But for some reason, I didn't want to get under the AC. I just was like, I need to go outside. So I finally get outside. I put some sweatpants on because I feel like the bugs is coming. I'm getting attacked or whatever. I put the comforters on. I'm talking now to my fucking futon because I'm feeling the springs in my futon. And I'm like, oh, I'm not mad at you. You did good. You've done me well. I love you. I've had you now for 6 years on this terrace. I've had many nights here. Just give me this one last night. I'm talking to this inanimate object, right? And I know I'm talking to this inanimate object. So anyway, I finally go to sleep for like a minute. oh, I feel like it's a minute. I finally get this, and I'm woken up again. So I'm trying to convince myself to just stay on my terrace, at least try to get one summer night on my terrace, because I've had so many beautiful nights in the past. I'm like really just trying to, like, the high is coming down, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, whew, I made it through. Let me see if I can at least enjoy the come down of the high. You know what I'm saying? Let me now smoke some weed, because I was scared to smoke weed early. I don't even think I could get to the weed. What is this? We are in 10 minutes in. Okay, so it's not too bad. So yeah, so I'm saying to myself, Kat, all right, let me try to enjoy this part of the high. Let me sit, let me smoke, let me go outside. Let me see if I could be one with the world, nature. But I couldn't get out of my head. All I kept doing was talking. Reggie called to check on me. I'm like, I kept telling myself, shut the fuck up. Like, I literally kept telling myself to shut the fuck up. So that went back and forth for what seemed like 5 minutes, maybe not that long. But I'm not, again, able to enjoy the high. You know what I'm saying? So I'm finally, it passes. I start to feel leveled out again. I start to feel even again. So I called Bay, let him know I was okay. You know, he's the one that said, you know, everything ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can try some stuff and you can see what works with you. And that's funny, and not funny, but that's another reason why I'm like, yo, I could not have done, I was so hot and so, like, I was going through so many different emotions. I could not have enjoyed that, definitely in the street. That would have fucking freaked me out. And then because of how hot I got in between, I'm just thinking like, yo, what if I was at a party, you know what I'm saying, and doing that, smoking on top of the heat? I literally would have probably passed the fuck out, you know what I'm saying? If I took that with me on Sunday to Soul Summit, you know what I'm saying, with the amount of people, even if it wasn't that hot, just the amount of people in the crowd around me, I would have passed out. So I think, and I've never tried any other, like, any hallucinative drugs before. I'm not even street drugs. I've never tried coke or heroin or any of those things, always because I felt like I would never really enjoy the high, because I would always be worried about trying to protect myself or be careful. Like I was, the whole 2.5 hours, I was like, I needed to be in control, and that bothered me, that I couldn't even be. I even took out meditation that my therapist did me. I said, well, maybe I can meditate, right? I couldn't even fucking meditate. It was too much. And I think a lot of it is because I do have control issues, and I want to control situations in every moment of my life, and I didn't feel in control. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel in control, and that didn't allow me to enjoy. And I think that's been my hesitation with even trying drugs. Like, I don't ever want to not have control of something. You know what I mean? Like, when I get high with my weed, I'm always still in control. And if I'm not in control, I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit will either pass me the fuck out, or I'm able to do whatever I need to do high, whether it's work, communicate, fuck, cook, clean, whatever it is that's my goal to do before I smoke, I'm able to accomplish. So, but I'm in control of that, or at least mentally I think I'm in control of that. So to try a substance or any other substance that allow me to feel like I'm not in control, I've been scared of. So i.e. now we come to mushrooms that I've been wanting to try. You know what I'm saying? I've been wanting to try them for the longest. And I just think about, like, if I even tried this with Bay, like, we would have not had fun. You know what I'm saying? Because one, he wouldn't have engaged, so he would have been just looking at me fucked up. And then if I did have sex, could I actually have sex and enjoy it? Or would it be like a fast sex? Because I felt like everything was happening fast. Like, I saw my hands, like everything was happening fast. So if I was to be with him, like, would I've enjoyed it, or would I even have remembered being with him? So that would have sucked for him and sucked for me. So I'm glad that I was in my house, but I don't like the fact that I wasn't able to mentally allow myself to enjoy the high. You know what I mean? And again, maybe it just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? Just because I smoke weed doesn't mean that I can be open to other things. It took me fucking 30 something years to smoke weed, you know, on a regular, consistent basis. I did try it a few times, you know, with Brandon, because Brandon smoked weed back in high school or whatever have you. But, you know, I was never really into it. You know what I'm saying? Not the way that I am to it now. And it took me, you know, it took me to literally, I want to say like after Isha was born, you know what I'm saying? After Isha, my daughter was born, that I became heavily into smoking cannabis. And so it's only been the last like really 16, 17 years of my life that I've been like this addicted into something, you know, that I feel like I have control over. And it's been enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I've been curious to want to try other stuff, but not curious enough to try anything. So now that I've tried this, I'm good. That was my high. I hope I was able to explain the different levels. I went through stages in those 2 hours. I went from my room to trying to sleep to the couch to the kitchen to the bathroom, taking a bath, to my terrace 2 or 3 times. Like I went to my daughter's room at one point. So I definitely was in spaces in these 2.5 hours, but really all trying to find a space that I could just chill at. And I wasn't 100% successful. So I don't know if I was able to explain all of that in 16 minutes. I'm making longer videos now because I thought 10 minutes was really what was key. So they could also get on Instagram and LinkedIn. But since now I've monetized my YouTube channel, in order for me to really have substance, the 10-minute videos are too short. So YouTube is encouraging me to do longer videos. So that's why I said, let me come on and actually let you know how this trip went. Because I knew that it would be longer than 10 minutes explaining to you the different layers that happened these last really 3 hours. And it probably could have lasted longer. But I was trying so hard for it to end. And I kept drinking water and water. I was trying my best to flush this shit out. So that's it. All right. Thank you for coming along in this journey. Because this is not just my journey. It's our journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this next chapter of my life as an empty nester, in a new relationship, you know, with myself, on top of a new relationship with a man. I'm in a new relationship with myself. And that's an interesting place to be in. I'm glad that I'm finally in therapy. That's helping me already know the shit I know, you know what I'm saying, about myself. But I haven't said out loud yet. So therapy gives me that space to say shit out loud in a safe space outside of my head. No judgment, because all she does is give me back what I say to her, but she gives it back to me in a way that allows me to receive where it makes sense. Because I think we put so much pressure on ourselves. We already have the answer. Because remember, we're gods. I don't need another God to tell me about myself. But what I need is another God sometimes to help me recognize what I'm in denial about, what I'm not fully accepting about. Because I already know what's within me. But understanding how you're affected by what you know. Let me say that again. Understanding how you're affected by what you know. Is not always the easiest place. No, I'm not going to say it's not. It's not an easy place to be in. It's because it's a lot of self-reflecting that I've already done with myself, but now it's almost like a new self-reflecting, if that makes sense. Like all the self-reflecting I've done in the past was mostly geared to, I guess, who am I as a mother? Who am I as a wife? Who am I as a business owner? But now this new reflection that I'm in, 20 minutes in, is and this is where I'll leave you, is now it's not Catherine the mother, Catherine the wife, Catherine the business owner. It's really like, who the fuck is Catherine? Not Cat, not Kitty. Like, who the fuck is Catherine? And I don't know. And I don't know if I haven't known for a while. But now I am learning about myself. And therapy is helping with that. Because it's allowing me, once again, a safe space to get outside of my head and say shit out loud. And hear how it sounds coming from that third party, which is still me, so that I can navigate and move correctly through my own words that someone is saying back to you, back to me, if that makes sense. All right, I'm going to leave you there. Hopefully 22 minutes was long enough for YouTube and for me. But yeah, I'm sure it's a wonderful trip. I know so many friends of mine who do shrooms. But yeah, I won't be doing it again. I won't be doing it again. Yeah, that wasn't for me. I don't think drugs was for me. I barely smoke weed, right? But I'll stick to that. All right, you guys, be safe out here. Peace.